I want to begin by asking you, Professor Chellaney, US very concerned about this plot to target a US citizen. But does Pannu being a US citizen outweigh his terror links and threats that he issues from US soil, sir, in your appreciation?
You raise a good question. The question is, why is the Indian government not openly expressing concern over the failure of US agencies to act against individuals like Pannun, who are repeatedly making terrorist threats against Indian targets? Pannun went from threatening action against Canadians of Hindu faith, then he made threats against Air India and the New Delhi airport, and now in his latest terrorist threat, he has threatened to target the Indian parliament. All this is happening from American soil. This man is a dual national of American and Canadian citizenship. Still, the fact is that he's largely based in New York, and the US should be acting against someone who is openly making terrorist threats. Now, the Indian government was very prompt in instituting a high-level inquiry into the US allegation over a murder for hire plot, a failed plot. How promptly the Indian government set up such an inquiry? Shouldn't India be pressing the US to set up an inquiry into why American agencies are shielding some key Khalistani elements? One such element was responsible in staging the murder in India of a famous Punjabi singer,
Yes,
Moosewala.
Sidhu Moosewala, absolutely.
Several of these guys, the prominent ones, were involved in the arson attack on the Indian consulate in San Francisco in July. And that was the second attack on the Indian consulate in San Francisco this year. First came in March, then in July. And yet, these people are able to operate with impunity from American soil. And I think the time has come for the Indian government
Yes.
to do it in a very polite way, but it has to raise its voice as to why the US government is allowing such elements to act with impunity from American soil.
And these are not just words. These are not just words. We've put out those images of the arson at the Indian consulate in San Francisco so that the world can see this is what the US is turning a blind eye to. Is this free speech?